Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another live stock picks. My name is Adleytelfort. Today's date is July 16, 2025. Current time is going to be 7:35 p.m. All right. We're going to be doing things just a tad bit different today. And what we're going to be doing is we're not going to be looking at starting all the way from the beginning as far as, one second here. We're not going to be going ahead and picking stocks today. We're actually just going to be reviewing current trades that we are in as far as trades that we started earlier on this week. All right. Just bear with me just a second here, guys. I am still somewhat new to this going live situation. Right. All right. So the first thing that we're going to be doing is we're going to be looking at the trades that we were in from the beginning of the week. And the first stock that we're going to be looking at is going to be VRNT. I got into this trade yesterday. And when I got into this trade yesterday, I got into it because I had an opportunity to buy into the stock. All right. And here we go. We're all set up now. All right. All right, so I bought into this one with the yellow line. As you can see, I bought into it at the price of $20.40. Let's go ahead and hide that. I bought into it at the price of $20.40. The current price right now is $20.37. That's what the market closed at. Post market, the price went down to $20.15. So right now we're about in the negative about 20 cents, about 25 cents. We're down about 25 cents. But I'm pretty confident that the stock is going to continue rising. The reason for that is because, like everything that I've shown you guys, these are all the setups that I show my students when they take the course on Udemy. Our moving averages, which are color coded whenever the red line's on top and pointing straight down, the green line's at the bottom and it's pointing straight down. It lets us know that we're in a downtrend. Over here, we have a crossover, which is called the golden cross, where the green moving average line is on top and the red moving average is at the bottom. Now, when setup happens, whenever it's moving in the sideways direction, we know that the stock is basically not really, it could go in an uptrend, but it's not a clear indication that we're in an uptrend. It's a clear indication that we're in an uptrend once we come across to where the green line is on top, which is the moving average, and it's pointing straight up. Red line's at the bottom and it's also pointing up. That's when we know that we're in a clear uptrend. All right. And here you can see we are in a clear uptrend. This is an area of resistance over here. It's broken. This is an area of resistance. The stock originally broke through this area of resistance right here with this strong candlestick. It went up here, touched another area of resistance, did a pullback and came back down. And this right here primarily had to do with the fundamentals. And this was back in June when a lot of stuff was happening in the Middle East. And that's why you always hear me talk about technical analysis and fundamental analysis. And for those of you who are new to my channel or new to trading, technical analysis is basically what we're using here. We're looking at our chart. We're looking at areas of support, which is the blue, areas of resistance, which is the red. We're looking at our RSI. So all of these little indicators that you see here on our chart, that's our technical analysis, right? Fundamental analysis is basically anything that's happening in the news, anything that's hearsay, any type of gossip that's happening that can cause the stock to come down. That's what the fundamental analysis is. Basically, I'll call it the news analysis. Okay. So here, you can see the stock. Once the stock, when this was going in a sideways direction as far as our moving averages, the stock was kind of like all over the place, right? But once the stock once the moving averages, the green line and our red line was pointing up. Green line's on the top, pointing straight up. Red line's at the bottom, pointing straight up. You can see that the stock was in a clear uptrend. It touched this area of resistance right over here with this line. Okay, it did not close above it. It touched it. It went through it, but it never closed above it. That's why. All right. And then from there, it did a pullback. It did a pullback here, and it touched our moving averages here. And now it's about to go back into an uptrend. And with this time around, and I bought it here at this price. So of course, with the uptrend, we expected to break through this area of resistance rush right about here in this area, right? So you'll notice this little orange line here that I have at the price mark of $21.79. That's because I'm going to go ahead and sell and take profit right here. And that's why I have this setup over here. So for each one of the stocks that I own, I am going to be going selling it and making $1.40 profit on each one of the stocks that I own with this. And I put about $500 into each one of these trades that I'm in right here. All right. So the reason why I'm selling it here at this point is because, yes, the stock can continue going up and breaking through this area of resistance, or it can test it like it tested it here and then come back down. So what I'm doing is I'm going to take my realized profit. I know that more than likely the stock is going to come up. It's most definitely going to come up into this zone. And once it hits this line, this area of resistance, it could do a little pullback. It can hover in this area for a day or two before it breaks through it, or it can just break through it. But for me, I would rather just take my profit, right? I've already been in this trade now for 2 days. We have a lot of news that's coming out today. So there's a lot of things that's happening that could affect the market. And August 1st is going to be the deadline for the tariffs, right? So with all of that stuff happening, I don't want to be stuck in this trade for much longer than I actually have to be. So once the stock gets to this price, we hear about $21.79, I'm going to sell it. Because if I wait for it to get all the way up here to exactly where that area of resistance is, which is roughly about $22.04, other I always say this, trading is a self-fulfilling prophecy, right? So once it gets to this price point, other professional traders and institutional traders, they're going to go ahead and sell as well, because they're going to say this is an area of resistance. So this is exactly what happened here. So the stock went up, it came up here to this area of resistance, it touched it, and then sure enough, the sellers, who are professional traders and who use support and resistance, just about every trader uses support and resistance. Once they noticed it hit that area of support and resistance, they started selling and the stock went down. And now that the stock is back here close to this area of resistance right over here, the stock is going to start moving back in an upward trend. Now, when it gets back up here to this area, it could sell again, or it can actually break through. I'm betting that it's going to probably break through here after testing it the second time around. But what's wrong with me selling it here at set 21.79, letting it break through, and once it breaks through and actually closes above this area, this red line right here, which is our area of resistance, I buy it again. And if I buy it again at that point, I can actually hold on to that stock until it gets up to roughly $26.82. But at least I took my profit here. So in case it does hit this area of resistance again and starts to bounce back down and does another pullback, I at least have something to show for it, and I'm not holding on to the stock again for another 3 to 4 or 5 days without making any kind of profit. Because remember, when you're in the green, that's unrealized profit until you cash it out. Okay, so that's the first thing that's the first stock that we're going to look at that I was in. So as you can see, we're right here. This is where I bought it. Stock is going to go up. So, and I feel very confident that the stock is going to go up, because if you look at our RSI, it's as long as it stays above this 50, which is the red dotted line right here, it hit it and then it bounced back up. So it lets us know that we are in an uptrend. And if we go onto our 4-hour time frame, on our 4-hour time frame, it lets us know that, look, in the 4-hour time frame, it came right below the 50 and it started to bounce back up, and now it's pointing up. So it didn't go all, it's not still pointing down like it's going in a downtrend. If it happened like it happened over here, where let's go over here, let's bring this over a little bit. So if it happened like what happened here at this point, where it came down below the 50 and it kept pointing down and stayed below it, then we know that we're in a downtrend. But here it came right below the 50 on a 4-hour time mark, and it's now pointing back up. So it's also letting me know that on our 4-hour time frame, the stock is going up. Next stock that we're going to look at is going to be Doc, right? This is another stock. This is another trade that I'm in right now. With this particular one over here, we bought into the stock at the price point of $17.93, which is why you see it in yellow over here. Now, the stock price is currently $18.26. That's where it's closed at, and that's where it's at right now post trading time frame. This stock is doing pretty well. It looks pretty well. Looks like it's doing pretty good. Let's take a look here. All right. Okay, what else we got going on over here with this particular stock? We have everything's moving. Everything looks good. Our moving averages, green lines on top, pointing straight up, red lines at the bottom. Originally, it was going sideways, but now it's starting to point up. So that lets us know that we're in an uptrend. This is an area of resistance right over here that I have drawn in, and I've drawn that in because on our 4-hour time frame, you see that area of resistance right over here. But on our daily time frame, you don't see that. This area of resistance is what I drew in, but once it's broken through it, you notice it hasn't come back down to test that area of resistance, so it's going to continue rising. So there's a lot more room to grow, and I plan on getting out of this trade roughly at about $18.96. And by doing that, I will be making $1.06 on each one of the trades. All right. If I can be in a trade for 2 to 3 days and get out of it and reinvest that money into something else, then that's fine. I'm not really a long-term stockholder or trader. Next stock that we're going to be looking at is going to be ZETA. Currently, right now, this stock we're looking all good with this one. The reason why I say that is because right now we have the same setup like we had with VRNT at the beginning when the green line crossed over on top and the red line was at the bottom. It was kind of going in a sideways trend. And then as soon as the green line, which is our moving average, started to point up and the red lines at the bottom of it started to point up, you can see that the stock just went up through the roof. And this right here, candlestick, is from Friday when we were talking about tariffs. That's why it came down. But of course, now look, it's pulling back up, and the stock looked like it's still in the upright, going to be in an uptrend. So I'm pretty confident with that one. And if you look at our RSI, on our RSI, it's well above the 50 and it's pointing straight up. So it lets us know that there's still room to buy. The stock is not overbought, it's not undersold. So we're good in the stock. So the stock should continue moving up. This is today's candlestick. We're looking on the daily time chart. I bought the stock here at $15.39. Right now, the stock price is $15 post market. The stock price right now is $15.30. So we're down just 9 cents per stock. All right. So tomorrow I expect there to be an explosion and for the stock to rise. And I'm probably going to be selling it right over here at $16.41. I'm going to be trying to get out of every single one of these trades by the end of the week. Okay. Remember last week I was in about 12 different trades. We got out of those and we were down to 5. I jumped into one trade yesterday, which was VRNT. And that brought us up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stock trades. And I'm just added these right here, which is the crypto and the Forex stock, the Forex trades to my portfolio. To this week's portfolio. So this one looks pretty good. The next stock that we're going to be looking at is Webull. Most definitely with Webull right here, we bought into the stock at $12.84. Currently, right now, post market, the stock current price is $12.85. It actually closed at $12.90, but then it came back down to $12.85. So we're in the green right now. The stock, the reason why I bought it, even though our moving averages right now, you can see the red lines on top and it's pointing straight down, green lines at the bottom and it's pointing straight down. And this is the setup that I tell you it's a downtrend. And yes, it's coming out of a downtrend. It's going into an uptrend. We have our areas of support that's down over here. But the reason why I bought it is not because of this particular setup, but I bought it really because, well, I would say yes, because of this particular setup. If you switch over to the 4-hour time frame, on our 4-hour time frame, we see that the green line's on top and it's pointing up, red line's at the bottom and it's pointing up, which is our moving averages. And over here, our RSI is above the 50, which is the red dotted line. So that lets us know that we're in an uptrend, right? So when I click this back over to the 1-day time frame, I can tell that this is an uptrend because what's happening now is the moving averages, they're consolidating, they're coming closer together, and they're about to cross over. This may happen in the next 2 to 3 days. Probably by Friday, there should be a crossover where the green lines will go on top and the red line will be at the bottom, and that'll be on our daily time frame. But when you look at it on our 4-hour time frame, it's an early indicator that we are about to go into an trend, and that's why I bought it. And of course, as you can see, we're going to be probably going into that uptrend because we already started the uptrend on a 4-hour time frame. Anything that happens on a day time frame will show earlier on a 4-hour time frame before it shows on a daily time frame. Okay. And this is why you'll see most traders are using different time frames. So this stock right here, I'm comfortable being inside of this stock. I'm not worried about it. As you can see today, we had a strong candlestick. and it's well above. We're in the green, and I expect it to go up to. I expect it to go up to at least $14.20. Yes, it can rise a lot more, but like I said, I want to get out of most of these trades by the end of the week, if not by the early beginning of the week. I'm not going to be heavily focused on stocks for the rest of the month. And you're going to see that here when I show you that I'm going more into Forex and I'm doing a little bit of a crypto as well because of everything that's happening between now and August 1st. There's a lot of talks with the tariffs, a lot of talks about firing the Powell as far as our Fed chief. There's a lot of different things happening. So I kind of want to pull away from the stocks for right now because we don't necessarily know what's going on. I'm not going to stop completely, but I'll probably minimize my exposure with the stocks. Next one we're going to be looking at is going to be EVH, another stock this is the last stock that we're going to look at that I'm in the trade for. I bought into this stock at $11.66. There was a pullback on this stock on Wednesday. This is when Trump announced the letters that he was going to be sending out for the tariffs last week. And so when he did that, the stock was well above our area of resistance over here on our daily time frame. But once he mentioned that, the stock dropped on Thursday, but then it's starting to rise. But of course, with all of the news that's coming out, we're not having these strong, big these strong green candles coming out that are breaking through this area of resistance. But with everything else, as far as our technicals are showing that the stock is going to continue rising. So here we can see the green lines on top as far as our moving averages, red lines at the bottom. Both of them are pointing up. On our RSI, it's well above it. So once again, this is something that I feel very comfortable with staying in this trade, that it's going to go ahead and break through. And I will probably end up trying to get out of this by Friday at the price point of about $12.66. And that's it as far as the stocks for right now. And if we actually looked at this on a 4-hour time frame, you can see that we're still in an uptrend. We're just waiting for it to break through this area of resistance right over here. So that's the last stock that we're in. So right now I started jumping into the back into Forex, maybe about, what was it? Maybe 2 days ago. Yeah, 2 days ago, I jumped into my first Forex trade that I haven't jumped into I've been trading Forex for months now, but I had decided to get back into it. And the reason why I kind of like Forex is because not only can I buy a stock, but I can also short it or sell the currency pair. So over here, this is what we're currently shorting. I actually bought this particular stock here at the price of 0.5948. Let's go ahead and spread that open up a little bit. So I bought it here at the yellow line, and I'm basically saying, hey, I'm going to short it. Believe that the pair is going to go down. It's going to continue dropping. And right now we are in the green because it is lower. It is down by what is that? About 30 pips. We're down where it's down by 30 pips, which means we're in the green on this one because we're shorting it. And we jumped into this trade here. Let's see if I could. Let's move this over here. So let's go over here and go to text, and let's move this over to the right. All right. So here you can see the notes that I put in, and I bought into this stock on short July 16th, which was this one did this one today, and I did it at 1:20 p.m. today. So that's when I shorted this particular Forex pair. Why am I saying crypto? All right, so this is one, and the reason why I did that is because of this. If we look in the setup that you guys learn in the course, you'll be able to apply these indicators. You'll be able to apply them to not only stocks but to Forex as well. Once again, moving averages, red lines on top, pointing straight down, and we're looking at this on our. Let's look at it, and we're looking at this on our 4-hour time frame, right? Red lines on top, moving averages pointing straight down. Green lines at the bottom, moving averages pointing straight down, letting us know that we are in a clear downtrend. When there's a reverse and the green line goes on top, red lines at the bottom is pointing up, we're in an uptrend. And this is on our 4-hour time, so we know, and we just broke through an area of support over here. And you see how strong that candlestick is? So here, when you switch over to our daily time frame, the crossover hasn't happened here yet. We're coming out of an uptrend where the green line's on top, pointing straight up, red line's at the bottom, pointing straight up. But here you have that curvature where the green line and the red line starting to consolidate. So I felt very comfortable buying that stock, buying this crypto pair here, because I know that the consolidation is going to happen because it already happened on our 4-hour time frame. So it already happened over here on our 4-hour time frame, and it's just going to continue dropping, especially since it's already broken through that area of support. If it was still above this area of support on our 4-hour time frame, then I wouldn't have traded uh, or shorted it. But because it did do that on the 4-hour time frame, I'm very confident that it's going to continue falling, and I'm probably going to go ahead and take my profit over here. Even though this is a smaller area of support, I would rather just take it here and then take the funds and then invest it in something else. I don't like to be in trades for more than a week or two if I have to. But I feel like this one should. But I believe this one, the way it's going right now and how it should, I think I should be out of this one hopefully by Monday, if not Friday this week. The other one that we're going to be and this is a trade that I just got out of, which is NNE. I just got out of this trade. I bought the stock here. I ended up selling the stock and breaking even today with this one because it pulled back and now it's rising and it's going to continue rising. I just don't have the time to sit there and watch and wait on this stock because this stock originally had an ATR of about like $2.50, moving an average of $2.50. And now the ATR has really dropped to where it's not really moving as much. Now I think the ATR is what? Yeah, the ATR is, what is it, $2.76, but it's really not moving. It's really not moving that much. As you can see, it's kind of like hovering right here. You can see some of these candlesticks over here. They really weren't that big. I know it's going to continue moving up, but I just didn't have time to, sit there and wait on it where I can take those funds and invest them into something else and make more profit. Now, when it comes down to crypto, I'm not a big fan of trading crypto based off of technical analysis because what happens here is, let me show you for an example, just to kind of give you guys a quick example. Here you can tell. Okay, so let's look at, you're going to see the consistency here. Consistency, moving average, green lines on top pointing up, red lines at the bottom pointing up means we're in an uptrend, right? The stock is just going up. Stock is going up. If you look at our RSI right over here, the RSI is above the 50, above the red dotted line. So as long as it's above that, it lets us know we're in a clear uptrend. And that's what happened consistently, right? Now over here, you can tell red line comes on top, it's going sideways. The stock and the green lines at the bottom is pointing down. But because the red line's on top and is going sideways, you see the stock is kind of going in a sideways direction. As soon as the red lines start pointing down, of course, the red line has to be on top. It's pointing straight down. Green line's at the bottom pointing straight down as far as the moving averages. The stock goes into a downtrend and then it clicks back over where the green line's on top. And now look, the stock is going in an uptrend. With this, we have more professional traders who are trading and institutional traders who are trading and some retail traders who are self-taught or took classes. They understand these indicators. They understand what they mean. Support over here, resistance over here. So everything is kind of like a self-fulfilling prophecy. But with crypto is more like, for example, I'll give you an example here. This is a crypto that I'm actually trading right now, right? Crohn's, which is for it's a stock from crypto.com. You won't see that level of consistency. You look at this, you see our moving averages, they're constantly crossing over green line, red line, green line. There's no consistency. The reason for that is because people that are trading crypto, they're trading it based off of fundamentals, basically off of rumors or speculation. Most people who are trading these cryptos, they're not real professional traders who are trading these meme coins and different things like that. So you have stuff like this happening all over the place. With 1 minute the stock's up, 1 minute the stock's down. But I can clearly identify an area of resistance, right? So I bought this stock roughly down over here at about 7 cents. And I'm holding on to it because I'm waiting for it to break through this area of support and it's going to continue rising. And the only reason I'm actually trading this particular stock, which is from crypto.com, is because, which is Crows. I don't know how you pronounce it, Chronos or Crohn's. Only reason I'm trading that one is because they actually, this crypto has a function. You can actually have a card from the company, from crypto.com. You can swipe it. You can buy things with it. You can use it. So it's a functional crypto. So this crypto, I feel like, if I hold on to it a lot longer, it's just going to continue exploding, especially with what's happening right now. They're voting to see if they can pass the Genius Act and they can have people trading crypto. I'm not a big fan of the meme coins like the Shibas and everything else like that. And the other reason why I'm trading this particular crypto, just for anybody who's interested in it, is because of the amount of crypto in circulation. So over here, you have to look at how many cryptos are in circulation. This one has a total of uh, 31 billion cryptos in circulation, unlike some of these other ones like Shibor that has like over like almost a trillion, cryptos out, like over like 35 trillion cryptos available. That's too many cryptos. This is why Shiba has so many zeros and it's not really moving that much, right? And then the next crypto that I'm trading is going to be ACH. ACH is a functional crypto. It actually does serve a purpose. And so this one, I've actually bought into this one at about 10 cents, and I'm just going to hold on to it. And this is going to be like a long-term hold. These two are going to be my long-term holds, maybe the next 6 months or so. But that's really it for right now with cryptos and stocks. We're just going to be reviewing the cryptos that we're interested in, but I'm not actually picking any cryptos to trade today because, like I said, we're trying to phase out. Not cryptos. We're not picking any stocks to trade because, for one, it's Wednesday. We're always trying to buy stocks on Monday. We want to kind of go through our screener, pick stocks that we want to trade, get into those trades, and try to be out of them by the end of the week. If we get into a trade right now on a Monday, and I said this on my last videos, and I say this a lot. Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays is typically when the worst news come out. That's when the government releases any kind of bad news or anything else like that. So I don't want to get into any trades on a on a Wednesday or Thursday. And then Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, something horrible comes out, some bad news comes out, and that's when the market goes down and I end up losing out on that. So I like to try to hold on to my trades for no more than about a week, 2 weeks if I have to. And that's why you heard me saying earlier, I want to try to get out of these trades by the end of the week. But that's really it for right now. I'm going to be trying to keep these really, really short because from here, we're going to be shutting down and then we're going to be over to TikTok and doing a TikTok live as well because I have a bigger audience on TikTok. And most of the TikTok people, eventually, they'll go over to YouTube and watch the video and watch these videos. So see you guys tomorrow, same time, same place. Also, if you guys have any questions in regards to any stocks, just send it in the comment. Just put the name of the stock in the comment or send me a message and I'll be more than happy to pull up that stock and look into it for you guys. All right. You have a good one.